Have you ever felt lost? Maybe, the noise of the world just became too loud and the rush of daily life a bit too fast. In those moments, I found that the greatest comfort, the most profound wisdom, doesn't really come from books or screens. It comes from the natural world. It's a quiet invitation, carried on the wind, a whisper from the trees, a lesson from the creatures that share our planet. For centuries, humans have looked to nature for answers. We've seen our own struggles, our joys, and our hopes reflected in the lives of animals and the flow of rivers. The world around us is, honestly, a living library. I once spent a cold morning hidden amongst the ferns of an old forest. The world was waking up, painted in soft shades of gray and silver. I was waiting, hoping to catch a glimpse of one of the forest's most elusive spirits, the red deer. For hours, there was only the sound of dripping leaves and the distant call of a bird. I began to feel impatient, my human world of schedules and deadlines creeping back into my mind. Then she appeared. She didn't rush. Every movement was deliberate, graceful, and silent. She paused, her large dark eyes scanning everything, her ears swiveling to catch the faintest sound. She wasn't just looking, she was seeing. She was completely aware of her surroundings, fully present in that single moment. She saw the tremble of a leaf, heard the snap of a twig far away, and smelled the damp earth beneath her hooves. Years ago, in the vast plains of Africa, I witnessed something that's really stayed with me ever since. A family of elephants was traveling across the parched land, led by an old matriarch. Her skin was a map of wrinkles, each line telling a story of droughts and rains, of dangers faced and journeys completed. A young calf, barely a few weeks old, stumbled and fell. It let out a small cry of distress. Instantly, the entire herd stopped. Not just the mother, but aunts, sisters, and cousins. They turned as one, their enormous bodies forming a protective circle around the little one. It was a powerful display of unity. The matriarch gently nudged the calf with her trunk, a gesture of immense tenderness and reassurance. The others waited patiently, their low rumbles seeming to say, "We are here. You are safe. We will not leave you behind." The howl of a wolf is one of the most haunting and beautiful sounds in the natural world. It's a call that echoes through a wild and untamed landscape, a song of belonging. For a long time, wolves were misunderstood, seen as symbols of danger and aggression. But when we take the time to truly observe them, we discover a much different story. It's a story of incredible loyalty, sophisticated teamwork, and a deep devotion to family. I've watched a wolf pack on the hunt, and honestly, it's like watching a perfectly choreographed dance. Every member knows their role, communicating with subtle glances and body language. There is a lead pair, the alphas, but their leadership isn't based on pure dominance. It's based on wisdom and experience. When there are pups, the entire pack works together to feed and protect them. Aunts and uncles will babysit while the parents hunt. Older siblings will bring back food for the younger ones. There is a river I have known for many years. It begins as a tiny trickle high in the mountains, a mere whisper of water. As it makes its way down to the sea, it grows, gathering strength from countless other streams. It is not a straight journey. The river meets obstacles at every turn. It encounters massive boulders, sharp bends, and steep cliffs. A human might see these as problems, as things to fight against. But the river does not fight. It yields. It flows around the boulder, it follows the curve of the land, and it tumbles over the cliff in a magnificent waterfall. It does not resist, it adapts. When we step into a forest, we enter a world that operates on a different timescale. The great trees have stood for centuries, silent witnesses to the passing of generations. Beneath them, a complex community thrives. Fungi connect the roots of different trees in a vast underground network, sharing nutrients and information. Insects pollinate flowers, birds scatter seeds, and fallen leaves decompose to create rich soil for new life. Nothing is wasted. Everything has a purpose. It is a perfect system of cooperation and balance, a living demonstration of how different parts can work together to create a thriving whole. It is in this environment that we can truly begin to absorb the lessons of the deer, the elephant, and the wolf. The stillness of the deer is mirrored in the quiet patience of the ancient trees. The community strength of the elephant is reflected in the interconnected root systems that support the entire forest. The loyalty of the wolf pack is echoed in the symbiotic relationships where different species help one another to survive. The lessons from the deer, the elephant, the wolf, and the river are not separate stories. They are threads in a single, magnificent tapestry. The deer's awareness allows it to survive in a world shared by the wolf. The elephant's memory of water sources is vital not just for its own herd, but for many other animals that share the same landscape. The wolf's role as a predator helps to keep the deer population healthy, which in turn prevents overgrazing and protects the forest. And the river is the lifeblood that sustains them all, providing water for every plant and creature along its banks. This is perhaps the most important secret that nature reveals to us. Everything is connected. No creature lives in isolation. The actions of one have an effect on all the others. We are all connected in a vast, global community. We forget that the choices we make, what we buy, what we say, how we treat others, send ripples out into the world. Having journeyed with these remarkable teachers, we are left with a sense of wonder and a quiet responsibility. The natural world has shared its secrets with us, opening our eyes to the wisdom of gentleness, community, loyalty, and resilience. The forests that teach us stillness are shrinking. The elephants that teach us community are threatened. The wolves that teach us loyalty are still misunderstood. The rivers that teach us resilience are being polluted. Our promise to the wild begins with listening. It means taking the time to truly see the world around us, not just as a resource to be used, but as a living community to which we belong. It can be as simple as reducing our waste, conserving water, or planting a tree. These actions, no matter how small they may seem, are our way of giving back. They are our way of strengthening the interconnected web of which we are a part. The journey does not end here. In fact, it is just beginning. The 10 minutes we have spent reflecting on these stories are like planting a seed. The real work and the real joy comes in nurturing that seed and allowing it to grow within us. The wisdom of the deer, the elephant, the wolf, and the river is not something to be simply known, but to be lived. The path forward is about integrating these lessons into the fabric of our everyday lives. We can start by practicing the deer's stillness. When we feel overwhelmed, we can take a moment to simply breathe and observe our surroundings without judgment. We can practice the elephant's sense of community by reaching out to a friend in need or spending quality time with our family. And we can embrace the river's resilience by learning to let go of what we cannot control and adapting to life's changes with grace. So, I encourage you to go outside, find a park, a garden, or even a single tree. Sit for a while and just listen. Watch the clouds drift by, feel the sun on your skin, and observe the small miracles of life happening all around you. Let nature be your guide. Let it remind you of the simple, timeless truths that we have explored together. The more we connect with the natural world, the more we connect with our own best nature. And in doing so, we not only change ourselves, but we begin to change the world, one gentle, mindful, and compassionate moment at a time.